Hi, Michelle. Sorry, I'm just trying to find myself. Doesn't appear I'm coming up for myself. So I'll just be a second. IT at its best. Refresh. Try again. Oh, there we go. Here we go. All right, now I can see your lovely comments. So welcome. I'm just going to zoom down a little bit because you don't need to see. Hello, Miss Susan. You don't need to see my dress or the junk that is around my desk. So hopefully that's not too wonky. So welcome. It's been a hot minute and it is hot. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to have a little play tonight. And I've got a couple of things that I'm going to do. I had a note even of it. Oh, yeah, there it is. So I've got a couple of the new release things have arrived. But I've got 3 projects on the go tonight. So let's go with that. Oh, hello, Miss Karen Campbell and fellow lovers of craft. I love that. All right, let's kick into it. So, of course, if you haven't already, if you're new here, I'm Naomi. I am one of the brand ambassadors. It has been a while, Susan. And I am very proud to represent the Natalie May scrapbooking family. And, of course, all the lovely products are on www.nataliemay.com.au, and you can find us on Instagram and our creative community. So let me move this away. Oh, I am doing something with cats, and I'm not a cat person, but I've got a few things going on, and I've got an order for them because I'm allowing drying time. So let's have a little look-see here at the new things that come in. So these are the ATC stacks, and how fabulous are these? They're already on there. I love that. Tegan's going to need to buy like 10 of these. My new favorite thing is the postcards. So good. They have arrived today. I have started one. We're going to be doing a postcard tonight. Looks like you're going to do cats. Excites me as you want to do something with your cat mad grandson. Excellent, Karen. So I didn't read the whole of your message. I've got so much crap on the side of my thing here. All right, what else have I got? I've got some trees. We're going to use our Lindy sprays and some trees. I have these little trees all through my house, and I love them. So the fact that there's some blank ones, we're going to play with those, and we're not going to start with that though. And I've already done some projects. You'll see I've done something with the dogs that I'll post up in the next few days, but I've started to do something with the cats. Now these beautiful things, sometimes I'm a little bit, how do I put this, and sorry about the glare. I wonder if I move. You picked them up from Nats on Monday. Excellent. Sometimes I'm a little bit, how do I put it, daunted by the fact that it's a rectangle shape. That's very, no, that didn't work. I'll move that back there. Hopefully that's okay. I can see a glare. It's only because these are so shiny. So I've actually fussy cut 2 of the cute cats out that I like. So you don't have to use them in a square. So I've got an idea for that. Now I have done some prepping. I've fussy cut. Look at me go. At this, oh God, the cat just fell in the bin. No, oh yep, they did, both of them. Goodness me. Literally slipped into the bin. Okay, I'm going to pop those aside because, now what else are we working with tonight? Ephemera. So what ephemera? Hello, Susan. I have prepped a whole heap of Christmas ephemera. And I'm going to play with some of that tonight. But in the to get things moving and for you not to have to watch me fussy cut. And I also like to have a day where I just sit here and I stamp everything out and then I just colour. So sometimes I do that, and I have done that already. So the other day I fussy cut all the baubles, ones that I wanted, which is from the new baubles release. I also have, now I've written down what I've got here. So All and Create little Christmas stamps are my fave. I think there's some paper artsy ones in there, but I think they've sold out. But I know there is the Elf Made 1311. Now let me grab that one out. So I colour mine with Lindy's and then give them some fine touches with some white paint pens. Can't remember what else goes with those, but they're the two Elf Maids, and they've got a nice little shimmer on them, and they've got lots of depth in there because I've used my Lindy's. So that is all I have used and on them with the white pen. So that's Elf Made 1311. If you just search 1311, you can get that stamp set. I think it comes with, I don't know, there's some other little stamps. Maybe there's some sayings on there, but they're the two main elements. And what else have we got? Emily's Sweet Season. Oh, this one was my favorite. I literally cut out, hang on, wrong girl. This is an old one. I don't think that's the same one. No, that's an old one, but again, this is last year's one. You keep using them. I have a little Christmas bucket that I put all my Christmas things in. So this stamp had, now I could be getting this wrong, but I'm sure it had, one of them had this one and one of them had that one. So the girl is, this is the girl. So again, I've used Lindy's for that one. And I really can't remember which one these are from. But anyway, there's a biscuit tray and some little gingerbread men, which were painful to cut out. But I didn't cut them out at first. And then I'm like, no, I need them. Okay, so there's that. And then there's a tree. I'm not sure, the tree was on the website, so it must be part of Annie's Sweet Season, or it might be part of the elves, I'm not sure. And I've forgotten to do the base of that one, but that's a cute little tree as well. Again, Lindy's. All right, so this is my prepping. And the last one was Rein It In, which is the reindeers, which I have in, here we go. So it's a set of reindeers with some cute little reindeer sayings, and I've used these a fair bit as well. So I've got my little memory decks that I've done some, if you haven't seen those, and I've also got a little Zine that I've used as well, which I'll show you as well. So that is my prep that I've done. Literally, it is so therapeutical, just printing out the same stamp on a sheet of A4. I use the cardstock that Nat has, and it's good enough for your Lindy's. So I've got those prepped, ready to go for my projects for the next year. I reckon I've got enough there, but that's okay because, you know, they're Christmas, they don't run out. I've got my baubles, and here is my homework that I did. Oops, upside down, Miss Jane. So this is one of the postcards, and I have prepped it. I have coloured it with Lindy's Magicals. So I used some of the Dina Wakley pink masking tape. I was testing to see how waterproof it was. Oh, Karen, you get daunted by the square too. Yes, just cut them out. That's what I did. Some of them I have used as a square, but I often cut them out. So yeah, I put, you know, bits of tape over here. I actually covered that, and this is how it dried up. I let it dry naturally. So what we're going to start with, now these postcards are great because you can double side them. So I'm going to make some Christmas postcards. I think that's just something different than, having a hottie here. I'm just going to move these out the way. Then Christmas cards, because, you know, no one seems to do Christmas cards anymore. Well, not many people. Probably us online watching. Sorry, drink break. All right. So, just so I don't make a big mess, and this is a small thing, I'm just going to pop this down here. So all I've done is ripped up a bit of that tape and stuck it down. That is it. Now I'm going to get my Lindy's, and I've just pulled out a couple of the newer, well, they're not even the newer colours, but this is the yellow that I quite like from the Under the Sea set 2, which is Yellow Tang Yellow. And these greens are both from the French Garden set, which is Sonia, I'm not saying her last name, Sonia's set. And this one particularly is really good for Christmas. It's a really nice Christmas green, and I have used these on the back, but I did use another deeper one, which I'm not going to use this time. So see this green and this green? That's that one. So let's go and see how this goes. Now I'm going to start with my darker colour. Now the reason I'm starting with this is I'm just going to let this dry naturally behind me while we do some other things. And then I'm going to go in with my other green. Now because I'm using both greens and then yellow, they're all next to it. Well, green's the same shade, but yellow's kind of a neutral colour. It goes with the warms and the cools. It's okay to add them all together. So not too much. Oh, you did, Susan. That's lovely. All right, so the trick with the magicals, if you use a sprinkle and spritz and you always end up with magicals all over your mat, you're not alone. I have magicals. This thing here is holding my phone, and it used to be white. It is now got a shimmer to it. So the trick is, if you want it to set without blowing away, is that you spray down onto it. So this is gifted to me from Lindy's, but any spray bottle will do. And you spray directly down, and then it won't move as much. Not great for when you're filming, because my hand is probably where you want it to be. So I haven't put a lot of liquid on there. These I have tested the other side obviously, and it seems to hold its liquid well. So what I'm just doing now is I'm going to move my water to this side so I'm not going across, is I'm just going to activate. There's some of that yellow in there I can see didn't activate. So I've got that on my brush, and then I just like to splatter it off. So I'll get a bit more water because I can see some of the pigment powder down here hasn't activated, and then splatter it. Another bit there that's really stubborn, that bit, and a bit more splatter. A bit there. The green is not too bad. There's a little bit there. I don't want to do too much because the thing I love about Lindy's is this, and I hate using this word, but this is such an organic look. It is different every time you do this, and this edge here, that is what I love about Lindy's. Every time you use it, it's different. You can never do the same project twice, which is great because you don't want to copy completely someone else's. You want to make it your own, and Lindy's just allow that to happen. So that is all I'm going to do for now. I'm going to pop that behind me aside and let it dry naturally. Oops, and someone's taken my puppy training pad, so it was probably me in my half attempt to clean up in here. And I just found some double-sided tape. All right, so next we're going to move on. And again, I'm going to get some paper towel. We're going to move on to the trees. All right. So these trees, this is the Woodlands. I don't know what size they are. I know there's all different sizes, but mine says Woodland Regions, 3 trees. But if you look on the website, you might be able to put in the code, which is TH94453. And I know that, oh, did I mention that there's 20% off Christmas? So these trees are 20% off, and there's 3 different sizes, I believe. So this says Alpine Woodlands. I'm not sure what the other ones say, but that's the one I got. All right, and they're so cute. So I've got some Lindy's sprays out. And so if your sprays sit, you'll see you'll get this little residue in the bottom. Just need to give it a good shake. I have mine sitting on a shelf, and I hope I don't buy any more of them because I'm going to need a new shelf. No, I will, because I love the sprays. Especially the Starburst ones. They get a good, you can see that there. It gets a good sitting there. All right. So what I love about these is that we can make them our own and our own colours. So I'm going to move the others aside, and I'm going to start with this gorgeous colour. And it is a Starburst spray called Snowy Tundra Sunset. And I just like it's like a deep purpley, mauvey pink kind of colour. All right, so we're going to give that a good shake. And we're going to, these are super easy, but I've got something to do with them at the end. Probably don't need to stand it up. So look at that. Now, because these are Starburst, they've got a beautiful shimmer to them. All right, so look at that. How easy was that? So we're going to let that sit aside to dry. I really should have thought this through first. I am going to get my puppy training pad out because I just found it. Oh. Okay. Now I'm going to put this tree down here to dry. But that coloured so quick and easy. Now, always give your nozzles a little clean there. Will stop them clogging up. All right, the next tree. Going to go over here, and I'm going to go with this Shabby Turbine Teal. Turbine, yes. All right, again, good shake, and we're going to do a big spray. If you saw before it started dribbling. I want a good spray. Oh, look at that. I really am like a kid at Christmas with my magicals. I do, my Lindy's. I do get excited by what they do for your products. All right, so another gorgeous colour. You can't see the shimmer on them yet, but I've also got something else that we may do with them. I'm not really sure. I just pulled some products out, but I have a feeling I need to buy bigger trees for what I had planned. I'm just going to pop that one in the bin. I don't keep paper towels. I'm not one of those people. Each to their own. Awesome if you do, but that's not me. Now this one, it's a bit bigger, so I'm going to do 2-tone. So I've pulled out, these are flats. And they're from Nat's range. Randomly, I just happened to pull these 2 out. Owner Awkward and Unstoppable Aqua. There's a Woodland Trio and Woodland 4-pack, which appear to be smaller. Oh, thank you, Susan. Now, I am going to get out one of my new Lindy's, which is the Glitz Spritz. So I'm getting out a gold. So these are flat and this is a gold. Now, you might think, and I did think when I first saw, why would you have a Glitz Spritz if you've got a Starburst? It's already got shimmer in it. Well, let me tell you from my own experience that this shimmer is tenfold to the natural shimmer that's in the Lindy's colours. It is next level. Like, I can't believe they got more shimmer. All right, so I think I'm going to start with blue, or the aqua. I'm going to start down the bottom. Now I'm going to overlap these halfway up. All right, so I've got a good coverage there. And then I'm going to go with the Own It Orchid. Now, I absolutely, the combo that these two give when they combine in the middle is stunning. It doesn't matter what project you use it on, and that's why I keep going for those. Look at that. I love that. All right, I might just bring that a little bit down so it's a bit more of that purple in there. Alrighty, wipe that one off. Now there's no shimmer in there, and this is really glitzy, so let's see what it does. It's probably not going to show up on camera, but let's have a look. I wonder if I can bring it up here. We have to wait till that one dries to see what it's done. I'm just going to add a bit more of that blue in. There we go. So it's very pretty, very pretty. Okay, now let me just show you. Look how pretty this is, but just so you can see the shimmer. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the glitter from the glitz, and it is shimmering all over. So it is beautiful. Now I wonder, there's one that can't really, it's really hard to get this one up on camera, but this is a unicorn bling, and it has, I'm just going to spray it on here and see if I can get it to come up, but it has, you know when those white unicorns and it tilts to the side and you get that blue shimmer as the shine hits it? They have nailed this. That is the colour you get. It's very hard to explain. I wonder if I do it down here. Oh yeah, I can see it. Let's see if I can show you. All right, so we're looking down here. I'll see if I can get it to come up on the screen. Now there is a 20-second delay, so I'm just going to sit here shimmering it and hope that you can see it. So I can, no you can't. Oh my god, it is so sparkly, but you can't see it at all. Okay, well that was a waste of 20 seconds of your lives you won't get back because you didn't see anything. Right, moving on. So here is a page I prepared earlier. Now, before I move on to that, here are some of my tags I did with Lindy's backgrounds. I've done some embossing in the background here. I've used one of the, I think this one's out of stock now, but this is one of the mini Paparazzi's stamps, which I saw there was more in today, and I love my Paparazzi stamps. And these are the bauble cuttables plus the Christmas sentiments cuttables. So I have just sprinkle and spritzed. I've used my wonky diamonds with a bit of, I think I put a bit of yellow Tim Holtz oxide, some colour, to get a little bit more in there, and then just popped some string on and lifted a couple of these up and layered them. So nice easy tags. Oh, you did see the shimmer. Oh, awesome. The glitzy ones are beautiful. I actually do a, like, flick them on because I like the splatters that I get. So this page I have done in my Uniquely Creative journal. Sorry, it's a bit hot in here, so I'm going to have to lubricate my mouth. You can see it. Oh, I'm glad you guys could. I so couldn't. So what I've done here, some embossing powder with that same stamp. I do love that one. In the corner, and then sprinkle and spritz and let it dry naturally. So you can see the shimmer in that one. You do get a bit of a curve sometimes when you're using Lindy's in your books, but it's these books are really, really good to hold them. Oops, sorry, I just hit the camera. Now, I did this because I wanted to have a dry page to start with, to do my art journal page, just to show you how I build with my Lindy's. When I'm using Lindy's in these notebooks, I generally pick the one that's got the cotton in the middle, because I tape every second page of these journals just to give them that extra support. Because the paper is quite thick. So I just need another clip without knocking the camera again. Okay. And I'll just clip that one up there. Now I have shimmery hands. All right. So I have pre-cut, where is it? Move my trees. So I have pre-cut some baubles. So I'm just going to place some things around to see what I want to do. All right, so these are obviously the cuttables, the latest cuttables. Oh, I like that there. But I haven't used these ones yet either, which I quite love. I'm wondering if I should put these ones on this page. So I wanted to put, I like those. There's one there too. I don't think I want that one on there anymore. But where did my kitties go? Besides on the floor, where'd you go, kitties? Okay, there we go. I wanted to put my kitties on my page because I did have a kitty in the past. He was like a dog. So because our animals are, you know, they're part of our family, and I want to represent them, and I love these cuttables as well. So I wanted to represent them in a little Christmas page. So I'm just fiddling. See that those baubles match the cats better. Oh, darn it. See, this is me thinking on the spot. All right, so I think I need to have those baubles there, but little Mr. Kitty can go that side. And so the Scandi, these ones are great, but they're going on a different page. Or I might use them on my postcard, actually. All right, and then these are like ones for the ground. Oh, I think these ones are too big. Let me have a look. So these are all the different baubles. I have just cut them out. Yes, I'm just playing with my composition to see what is going to work best. He's too big there. I think those balls are too big. Maybe I could hang those up there. That might be better. Yep. All right. I'm liking that. I'm thinking he's going to come over here with his little mate. All right, so that I think is where they're going to go, but I need to build some more on my background. Now, the other thing I wanted to do was get my sentiment. So I have these awesome things, which are 20% off. So this is the gold pack, and they're called Essential Collection Sentiments, and they are gorgeous, but I have put the rest in a safe spot. They're right here. I had to get all the colours because you just never know what's going to go. So I think I'm going to go with silver and white. So you've got a little bit of a, like you've got a big set and then you've got little ones, so you can pick what you want to go there. So I think I'm going to go with all right, let me pull them out and see how big they are, because that will make my decision. And then we will build on this art journal page. I'm going to get the trees and art journal page on my postcard finished tonight. Look out. I know, it's unheard of. All right, so what I want to do is have a little play with the big words. You bought the silver ones. Yeah. I just thought that if I only bought the silver ones and something was it was more of a, it had like whatever I was using with it, like these can sometimes have a brown tone or a copper tone or a gold tone. I didn't want to be limited. And you know what? These sayings are not going to change because there's joy. I'm looking for, I don't want winter. Jingle, sparkle, and Christmas. All right. So Christmas seems to fit. And then I want to go with oh, what about this? All hearts come home for Christmas. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so I'll play around with that, but I love that. And I have used a fair amount of these sentiments on my Christmas tags as well. So get your hands on those, ladies, because they are 20% off. And you know what? If you don't use them this year, you can use them next year. Get yourself a little bag and make yourself a little Christmas stash. And you know what? Every year I say I'm not buying more Christmas stuff, and I do, because, well, Nat comes out with an something awesome. But I just literally use one of these bags that Nat sells, and I just keep adding to it. And then if I'm going somewhere and I want to do Christmas stuff, I just take my bag of Christmas things and away I go. All right. So let me move all these things off. They can pop up there. Oops. What's that? A random let's. I better put that away. All right. So is anyone crafting along with me tonight? So I'm not going to do a heap to this page because I've already got my embossing powder there, which has given me some texture. But I am going to add, you know, got to add a little bit. So I'm going to get out my Art by Marlene stencils, because I know that there's one on special for you girls if you haven't already got it. If you have, get it out and use it, because I have used this one a fair bit actually, and I just can't find it right now, but I'm getting there. Here we go. You'll see, because it's one of my dirtiest stencils. Starry Night. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pick something a little bit deeper, because these have more depth in them, my colours, as opposed to my background. I need to bring those together. I'm going to move these sprays out the way. I may not be done with the sprays, but I'll see. All right, so I'm going to use a Art by Marlene colour, and I'm thinking I might go with I was actually thinking of going with Police, but I'm just, do I dare to do Blue Stars? Because, you know, stars aren't blue, but you know what? The sky's not rainbow either. So let's go with it. All right. So I'm just chucking out a little bit of police on the side and grab myself a sponge and chop the end off because I never remember to dry mine, and mine are cheapo Kmart ones. So I'm going to do a bit of starriness across the page. Remembering where I was putting those sentiments as well. So you could use oxides for this. Oxides, you could just use gesso. Oh yeah, that looks cool. You can use whatever you want over the top of Magicals. The only thing that does have, I wouldn't say it has trouble, is anything white. You're going to get some of the magical colour come through. So, and I mean, that's okay. Sometimes that's totally fine. But if you want a clear, crisp white, you're probably not going to get it over the top of a magical because it's slightly, you're worn out and worked all day. Thankfully, there won't be any more. Oh. Your mother-in-law was released today. Oh, I'm glad she's doing okay. Michelle, I can't see the rest of your comment. It has gone in there, but I will read it later. I'm glad you're relaxing watching me then. All right. Starry Night stencil. I've used it all the time. And as you can see, it's got some nice different star patterns. So this is how I'm just going to make it, that these elements that are going on my page, or the focal points that are going on my page, are a bit more tied in. Now, sorry, I just have to clean this bit over here. You'll see here that you probably wouldn't have particularly thought to do these greens in the background and then these bright things on top, but they actually work. You've just got to tie them in, give them a bit of shadow, put some bling in there, tie the corners in. You've got white, make sure you add white. You've got a bit of gold, you know, that sort of thing. Just tie things in together and they will work. All right, what else am I going to do? I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. So let's grab out some of my stamps, which I just happen to have here. And I think I'm just going to do a little bit of script stamping. As you can see, favourite. I really do love the delicateness of this script. So I am going, because it's so delicate, I am going to use black archival ink because I can just get a fine mark. I'm going to go down here. Now I am avoiding my stamping that's already there because it's embossed. That's enough. Pop that aside. And all right, I am going to do what I do like to do with these. With Magicals, I like to build my backgrounds, with Lindy's, I like to build my backgrounds with more Lindy's. And I've already started doing that. You can see there when that's dried, I've dipped my brush in and splattered it into the opposite colours. That's exactly what I'm going to do now with these glitz sprays. I'm going to add the gold in. Oh, actually, before I do that, I think I'm going to change my mind and not add the gold in. I wonder, because I've got this silver writing. All right, do I use the blue or do I use the unicorn bling? I don't think, will I get the shimmer of the unicorn bling? You know what? Let's use it. Let's use it. So all I do is grab, I mean, it is beautiful. You just can't see it unless it's in real life. And some of you did see it before, so that's great. So all I've done is flick what's in the nozzle. I don't know if you can see it around the edge there. I'll bring it right up close to the camera. It looks like it should be, I think you can see it. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, looks like it's something that should be off the Harry Potter because it's so blingy. All right, so I'm going to put that aside and bring back my trees for a second. I've got so much going on, I'm not going to be able to move. All right, so my gorgeous trees, they are still wet. Oh, that one, oh yeah, they have the puppy training pad is stained, but what I want to do is add a little bit of frosting. I have an idea, so bear with me on this one because I haven't done it before, but I'm going to have a crack. And what am I going to use? I think I'm going to use acrylic paint. All right, let's see how we go here. I'm going to use Art by Marlene lace paint. Oh, that's nearly empty. With a bit of this silver shimmer effect. Oh, you could see it again. Excellent, Michelle. All right. Now, I'm going to do this on the first one, and if it doesn't work, I'm not doing it on the other ones, but let's see how we go. I have an idea. Now, keep in mind that these special effects ones, when they dry, the glue, like it's a glue color, but when it dries, it's just silver. So it will look a bit different. Just going to grab my little palette knife here. Whoopsie. I'm going to mesh this together because that's got a nice little shimmer to it. Pop that in there. All right, what am I going to get this on with? What am I trying to do? Okay, I'm going to go with a tiny brush. This is a shitty old brush. All right. I'll start with this one. Oh, okay, it did work. I don't do White Christmas, but these trees kind of yelled out for it, and I do want to try it. I mean, they were pretty without it, and that was so easy to do. And 20% off. I didn't know the 20% off was happening until I was just making sure that the products I was using were in stock just before I went live. So yay for you girls. It's like Nat knew I was going to do something Christmassy. She knows me too well. This actually looks really good. Sorry, I wasn't even in line of the camera. I was getting carried away. I'm just brushing over the ends so that I'm still keeping that gorgeous colour that we sprayed on. Now I am going to have to stand this up when I put it back down on the floor because I don't want it to lie down. How cool does that look? I love that. So good. My boys have homemade advent calendars and I've used trees that I bought like this and they don't look this good. I wonder if I could replace them without them noticing. All right, putting that one aside. And, oh, our postcard's nearly done. All right, I'm going to make up another bit more because I'm going to do some more of that. Now, if anyone remembers Art by Marlene paints Dry Puffy. So that's why I've picked these ones because I want the puffiness of the white to stay there. All right. Put that back in there. Yes, it is very cool, isn't it, Susan? Who would have thought? These would be perfect in your dollhouses, Susan. Oh, my goodness. All right. This is one of those rare examples where what I had envisioned in my head has actually come to life because I had no idea if this was going to work. So yay that I did it live and that someone got to see it. Or all of you, the 12 of you watching, actually I think there's 11, I think that one of those people is me. But all you people who watch this back later. I know it's a busy time of year. I can't just, my night's Thursday to do something and the boys between graduating and Blake had a concert, what was it, a play today that he was in and he was a kangaroo and he had to say, it was a play about, I think it's a book, Tiddalik. Any of you English teachers or kindy teachers out there maybe know Tiddalik. I don't know it from, it's an old book. It's about a frog who drank all the water on country. Well, Blake was a kangaroo and he had to say the word and I can never say it, corroboree. And he did so well. Oh, look at that. You have some for your dolls' houses? Yes. Well, I could just paint these for you all day long. That looks so good. All right, just popping that one on the floor. Oops, it fell over. Now the other one fell over. Sorry, I'm back. I was doing a balancing act on the floor. All right. And last one, and then I think, oops, lost a hair there. And then I think our postcard is dry. So that is cool. How long have I been going for? Oh, not even an hour. And our trees are done. Oh, that looks so good. I still can't see the glitz on that one, but I can't see the shimmer on the other ones either, so it might have just absorbed it all. I probably could have done this faster with a bigger brush, but I wasn't sure how it would take. Yeah, running out. That will do me. There we go. Thank you, Karen. I absolutely love these. That is, especially this one. This one is my favorite. All right, I'm just popping that down on the floor. And bringing back our postcard. All right, it has dried nicely in this heat. The joys of crafting in summer. It is so different to doing it in winter. I normally have my heat gun out like 10 times by now. All right, so you'll clash with Claire soon. She's on her art journal lovers at 9. Oh, okay. All good. All right, so I'm going to slowly peel this off. Now, I have had no problems and haven't even had to get the heat gun out with this. And I spoke too soon. So a little trick with this, I saw this on Claire do it actually, is to just heat your sticky up. Yep, that works straight away. If you heat your sticky up, if you're not keeping, well, even if you're keeping it, give it a heat and pull it off when it's warm. It comes off much quicker. So yes, the answer to my question of this one was, is the tape waterproof and will any lindies or liquid leak underneath? And the answer is no, it won't. It has worked fabulously. And I have to say, the postcards are holding up really well, being that they have liquid on both sides. So good quality cardstock, which will hold water activated things as well. All right. So I thought that might be a nice little cool effect to have a bit of white in amongst all that colour. So for those who missed it at the beginning, that was the art by the Dina Wakley pink masking tape, I think it is. And you could keep that, but I kept the bigger pieces, but the smaller pieces I'm not going to. So how's that for a background for a postcard? I love it. Love, love, love it. All right, let's do something on this side. I'm going to bring these guys back in. So I'm going to pop over this little guy here. I reckon I've got a tree there. And actually, I'm going to swap. That's going there. Where's my little sugar girl? I feel like she goes with her, but I think they're from different sets. Anyway, I think they're old. I just went to town with the stamping, so, and I might pop a little cookie tray there somewhere. All right, so gonna add a little bit of detail here. with some, I'm not doing too much to it. The Lindy's and what's there is already great. No, I'm going to use this one. Just had a thought. So, I'm going to get my black archival ink back out. Oh, good night, Michelle. And I'm going to put in here, so this is Claire's lowercase. So I'm actually going to use these as a Christmas tag. So I'm just popping, you know, something different. And I know that's crooked, but that's okay. Oh, looks like my whole camera is crooked. Sorry, girls. I've completely knocked it out the way. Hopefully that's better. Or maybe I've made that worse. Oops. I'm not sure what I've done there. I think I've made that worse. There we go. All right. Sorry, had to wait for the camera to catch up. All right. There we go. Sorry if you got a kink in your neck from that. All right. So my Thomas is going to get one of these. Now that I've done that, I'm going to have to swap what I'm putting on here because he will kill me if he gets something girly. But he does love his elf still, so I've also got my baubles. So let's see if I can grab something out here too. Oh, see, that looks good also. Quite like that. If I just go something slightly smaller. See, look at the contrast with the background and that. Stunning. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to grab a bit of white paint, and I just happen to have some here. Just a little bit. It's really humid here. I think we might be getting some rain. All right, I'm just going to use my finger and add a bit of dots. So remember what I said about it reactivating? You can see over here, it's going a bit blue because I've touched that now. Won't need much to dry here. And I'm going to, well, I've got it out. I'm going to turn over and do the same on this side in those darker bits. It's a bit more white on this side, but that's okay. Baby white because I've got paint on my thing. You're expecting, yeah, I think we are too, Karen. Which hopefully it gets to the fires up in Central Coast and puts them out. All right, then I'm going to just grab, I think I'm just going to do it on this side. Just going to make that into a wash. Not a very good wash by the looks of it. It's a little bit blue, but just chuck. And because it's white, it doesn't matter how much I chuck on there. Done and done. I'm going to set that aside to dry again. I'm not going to do both sides of the postcard tonight, but I will finish that one off shortly. I just had to, you know, add my usual splatters. All right, let's bring this one back in and finish this one off. Alrighty. So I've got those, I've got my depth, I've got my stamping. I'm going to start gluing in and then I'll add some final details. All right. Sentiment last, caps later, starting with this one. All right, so I'm just using the Art by Marlene sticky glue, which is my go-to glue. If I'm using another glue, it's generally the glitter glue, but I have to say my glitter glue is the one I go to second. And I think it's just because I clogged the lid of that one and it gave me the poops. But I used it all the way down to the bottom. It was great. But these are just a little bit smaller bottles, so just my personal preference. And this one sticks quite quickly. So I haven't fussy cut all. You should all be impressed that I've actually fussy cut anything, because I don't enjoy fussy cutting, but I haven't cut all the bits off, like those in the middle around there. Like, it doesn't matter. To me, if you love that thing, go for it. But that is not me. And then I'm going to put, did I have these here? I think I did. Oh no, I had them up. Yeah, I popped them up. All right, so that's how you can easily use your magicals for an art journal page. And I sometimes just do some tags and an art journal page while I've got them all out and making a mess, and put them aside for a couple of days and come back to it. So I did do this page 3 days ago. I was just finding time for a live to be able to happen. And here we are. All right, so little kitty. Oh, I think this one has to go over here. And this guy here. Yep, that's how it's going to go. All right, is anyone a Christmas movie tragic like me? I reckon I'm up to 6. Oh, hello, Emily. Oh, that's okay. I'm still going. You know I don't keep to my hour time limit. I'm already 3 minutes over, so you know you always find me still going if you're a bit late. So we've got a few things going at the moment. We've done some Christmas trees. We're halfway through a postcard, and now we're finishing off an art journal page, which I had already pre-done. So yeah, I often will sit and do a page or a background or something of a few things at once, just when I've got the puppy training pad out, and oh, thanks, Wendy. And just to prep myself a few times. Like I said before, with all this stamping, I literally stamped one day, and I just stamped a page of all these different Christmas stamps from my Christmas stash. And then the next day I just sat here with my magicals and painted. I don't know why I put that away, because I've got to put my sentiment on. So these sentiments are the Studio Light sentiments, and I think they're fabulous. All right. Now, if this was on a tag, I would probably use some foam tape and sit that up, but this journal is thick enough. It doesn't need any more layers added to it. That silver is really nice. I'm glad I got that one. Karen, you don't say that. That is not a Christmas movie. That is a movie set at Christmas time. It is not a Christmas movie. I have this argument with my workmates all the time. It's quite funny. I watched a good one on Netflix the other day. It's got Alicia Silverstone in it. It was quite good for a Christmas movie, and she's looking good still. All right. I'm nearly done with this one. So what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of shadowing. So I'll show you how I do my shadowing. I normally do this off camera, but I realize that you probably never get to see me do it because I do it off camera. So I've got my Stabilo pencil, making it nice and sharp. And I have my, I think I just knocked the camera again. Sorry, girls. My watercolor brush. And I always put that next to it. So what I'm going to do is, I did knock it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the side, like think about a light shining on it, and I happen to have a light shining on it. So if I put my hand here, the shadow is on this side of everything. Okay, so if you see that something like this, these baubles already have the light on that side, so I need to pick the other side. It doesn't really matter in that aspect because putting the black behind them wants them to lift out of you did know I was going to say that, Karen. It's lifting them up off the page, blending them in, giving them that bit of depth. So this is not going to matter too much where it is, but if you didn't know where to start, look for that and you can go the other way. I always go this way because I'm right-handed, but I think that's all I do. So I'm just going to go down. Now, this is hard to show you. So I just go around there and I don't do it all, but so to my right and underneath. Ooh. So just go underneath there. I'm not gonna, I might do the leaves later. I'll think about that one. So it's nice and easy to go. You can go over the embossing powder, no problems. And then I just go at the bottom, not that side. Now kitty kitty to that side of him, a little bit in there, and then down here, and on that side of his ear. So then I just get my watercolor brush, so my aqua brush. I have my paper, my baby wipe or my paper towel there just to dab off the liquid. So these, you can get heaps of them. That sells them. They come in, if you buy watercolor paint sets, sometimes they come in there. So all I do is I activate and I start to pull out. I'm not sure if you can see that. So I start in and then I just start to slowly go like this out. I hope you can see that. Yes, you can. I'm just watching the replay. So it makes that darkness deeper where I've drawn it, but I don't want it to look like a black pen mark. So bringing it out makes it a shadow rather than a black pen mark. And once it dries, so the difference with Stabilo is that once it dries, it's permanent. And it will look different when it dries. It does get a little subtler. So if you think, oh my God, I've got this big black line there, it does dry out. But it really does change the depth of your, whatever you're putting your Stabilo around. So if you use a watercolor, just a black watercolor pencil, that's fine too. We'll do the same job. However, if you were to add more liquid to it afterwards, it would not be permanent. It would move again. Stabilo will be permanent. All right, so again, I just activate and pull down. Oh, I can I can see, as I'm doing this, I can see the unicorn sparkle. I forgot we put that on there. I can see it. I didn't even look for it before. There's unicorn sparkle all over the place. All right, so it doesn't take much, but it just gives it, it's a finishing touch I always do. And it is quite relaxing to sit here and, you know, just doodle with a pencil. Love Actually has to be a fave, yeah. Yep. I'm a big kid at heart, so I do have a soft spot for the Santa Claus movie, the original. And there's a newer one that I don't mind either that came out a few years ago called Noel. It was, it's pretty good too. But I watch all the Netflix tragic ones, and some of them I've watched years before, and I just rewatch them. All right, so a little bit of depth there and behind his, a bit of shadow behind his ear. There we go. I'll just add a little bit down here. If you're ever going to have shadow on anything, it should be underneath feet. It's a good thing for a stabilo as well if you were putting a person or, you know, a person on the page and they didn't have something to stand on and you wanted them up the page. You can just grab your stabilo and literally draw like a set of stairs or something, or just smudge a set and then activate it, and it makes it look like they've got something to sit on. All right, and the only other thing I would do now is grab I seem to have been losing black pens, so I'm just going to get my Life of Colour pen. Now I feel like I do need a bit more black in this page, but let me have a look at, oh no, it does look pretty good from, okay, I'm happy with that. So this will be what I need. So I just go along here, take the clips off. Go along here with a squiggly line. Down that edge. And that just ties in the depth in my focal points. So that's another good thing to do as well. If you're not sure about the, must be molting. If you're not sure about how your elements are sitting on a page, take a photo, because I was just sitting here going, oh, I don't think that matches. But when I look up on the screen, or what you guys can see, I actually really like it. So that is my art journal page done. I'm really happy with that. And that little sentiment brings home the thing about the pets, which is what I was going for. So I love that. So let's go back. So that's my art journal page done. Let's finish off this, my postcard. And it's nearly dry. All right. So let's bring this home. I might even do the other side because I don't have a heap to do. So my little All and Create cuttables. I actually feel like I'm just going to change that up. So I buy these little sandwich bags and I cut up all my different collections, or stamp all my different collections and put them in there. So that's why I've got all my baubles in there, and I write Baubles Nellie May cuttables. I seem to always have a moment where I have a sickness and need to sit on the couch and can't craft, so I just get out my scissors and a bowl. Thank you, Susan and Emily. It worked out better than I thought, actually. All right, so there's my little stamp area. I am going to add in, oh, I feel like I need to add this in for Thomas. My youngest is so exhausted now. He's still got this week and next week of school left. He does not get out of bed. He's in bed at 7:30, maybe a little bit later. But any later than that, he is just wrecked. There is, that's the wrong tree because it doesn't have the bottom of it done. I need to find something else. Oh, this is an old one I have too. This is an old D. She was one of my favorites too. So I had fun colouring in all her lights around her. So all those little all and create. Maybe I will do the girl elf. Oh no, I can't because she's facing the wrong way. She's gonna go on the back. All right, I can see a proper tree in here. I don't think any of these. No, they're not gonna go. Now I did have an idea to put some of these poinsettias on those Christmas trees, but I don't think these are too big. So I didn't get to use those. I'll have to come up with something else for those. All right, here's my tree. So I kind of wanted the tree in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in that Stabilo and make it look like it's in the background a bit more. So that like kind of is such an easy way to do a postcard. So let me just bring in that depth. Probably should have waited for the glue to dry, but that's okay. So see how I've just done that with a bit of Stabilo? So easy to do. And then I'll just pop a bit under here. And leave that one there. So then all you have to do is when you're colouring these, I just go use one of these, use my magicals and do a bit of painting. And then where there's lines, I just go over it again. So it like gives it a bit of depth. You'll see down here I've gone over a little bit. And then I just add some white highlights with a white pen. So magicals are really, really easy to colour in with, and you don't use much of it at all. Like I don't think I've gone through one colour, and I use my magicals a lot. So see how we got, there we go. So that's looks like that's in the background. And we'll just give him a bit of a shadow as well. Under his ear. Cool. I think that side is done and dusted. I may, bear with me here, I have to move all my lindies out the way just to tie it up. I don't want to put a border around it, but I do want to, and I'm nearly done because I want to, I have to go and do the bloody elf on the shelf. So I'm just going to get my Arbor Marlene Duo marker. And do that. That looks good. I'm glad I did that. It would have been too much to put more than that, but just that little A little bit is just enough. So there's one side of my postcard. I love that. I really love these. These were such a great idea. I'll finish off the other side and I'll post a photo. So thank you, ladies, for watching me. I'll pop some photos up of the trees. They're still wet. I'm not going to touch them. But this is probably my last live, I think, for the year. I am going away on the 22nd down to my van, and I will not have access to my supplies and space to myself. So if I don't speak to you before then, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and enjoy time with your family, and celebrating however you celebrate it in your home. And thank you for all the support for this year. It has been wonderful, and I will be back as part of Nat's team for next year, and I look forward to creating with you all then. So have a great night and Merry Christmas.